Okay, hello and welcome. I have started recording, and also it's another day where the Ginas are back. So if you want to change your name to your actual name, please feel free, or just move as the universe calls you to be. I feel inclined to do a really ridiculous um, meditation. I'm almost inclined to have people get up and walk around as if you were Gina. Oh my gosh, the sweetness. But it actually is, there is a sweetness to it. I think one of the principles that I hold to be true is that I am reflected in everybody and everybody is reflected in me. So actually will invite you to begin by settling into your system and taking a moment to tap in, identify who you feel like you are, where you feel like your roots are, where your energy is in this moment. If you can feel anything that feels like it doesn't belong to you, like baggage or a sense of resistance or fear that doesn't feel like it belongs to you, we'll invite you to ask any of those pieces to step aside, to come off you, to take a seat, at least for the duration of this hour. And when you come back into the space, we'll invite you to look at everybody that you can see on the Zoom screen. And imagine that they are another version or a reflection of you. What does it feel like to be in a space surrounded by reflections of you? And we'll give folks a few moments if they want to drop anything into the chat thread of what you're noticing or finding. Okay. So today we're going to go straight into constellation work, and hoping to be able to do, it may be a big process or maybe a small process. We'll find out what happens. So we'll do as we did yesterday. If you feel called to receive a piece of work today, somewhere in relationship to the theme of love and care and self, please claim it and ask for it. And also, if you feel a call to nominate someone, please do. And then we can check in with them if they would like to receive. Barbie.
I think I might put myself forward.
Please say it again.
Yeah, I think I'm going to put myself forward.
All right, come on. Okay, I'm going to spotlight us. Okay. What would you like to receive with this piece of work?
Love has been hard for me. these last sort of 6 months. Um, there was a lot of loss. And sometimes I'm thinking, so why would I like to receive? I suppose sometimes it's happening so much. I'm like, why is it happening? You have some sort of messages from that sort of thing that feel like this is all right, but it doesn't feel all right, to be experiencing loss in this way, especially when this person arrived in my life. It was so expansive and possible. So love is feeling kind of impossible sometimes. um, um, Maybe it's not an answer as to why that I'm thinking. Though I suppose there's a lot of me asking why. um, yeah.
Mm. I have some questions.
Sure.
Um, in terms of the loss that feels most present,
Mm-hmm.
is there like a one particular loss? Is there a series of losses? And I think maybe like loss can have different flavors because love has different flavors.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm wondering, can you speak a little bit more to what feels like it's at the forefront?
Mm. Um, Feeling abandoned. um, um, a kind of feeling of being, for me, I almost feel like I'm the abandonment comes about because perhaps I'm excess or too much. um, and the flavor. Oh, that's what I've got now. I can't go to the flavor yet.
Yeah. Um,
I think, sorry, I think I've sort of, I feel myself to come with a lot of capacity for love. And so sometimes I think, do I overwhelm people? Or and then can I see myself and what I need um in that? Can I see what I need? What can I see what I need? What are my needs?
all right, so I've got two thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
One is it just wanting to be able to see clearly the love that you need?
Mm.
And the other thing that came was wanting to believe that love is possible.
Mm. Both, but I think the second one resonates with me
Okay.
more.
So wanting to believe that love is possible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And we'll encompass it in like that the love that you need is possible, the love you want to offer is
yeah.
possible, and all of it.
And to be able to trust it, that it's possible.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
Thank you. Okay. So gonna pull these spotlights down. And we'll ask folks if you're available to be in Barbie's constellation, will you please bring your cameras on? And if you're not available, you can turn your cameras off. And so then of the folks who are here, Barbie, will you invite one person to be a representative for you? And we'll have another one as the representative for love.
I feel like Gina needs to be my representative.
Sure.
Thank you, Gina. And Nakia?
I'm happy to step in. I do want to preface it with I came in halfway through your conversation, so I may not be as oriented as some of the other folks in the room. So happy to step in, but I wanted to give that information.
You're going to be my representative for love.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So, actually, I'm gonna start us differently. I'm gonna start us here, and we might go to whiteboard afterwards. We probably will go to whiteboard afterwards. But we'll start by asking both of you to step in to your representatives. And Barbie, do you have an actual Barbie? Do you have a sense of who you'd like to hear from first?
Yeah, I'd like to hear from the representative for me.
Okay. So then, representative for Barbie, can you share what the sensations you're noticing in your body?
I'm thirsty.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Mm.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
That sensation of like there's like a desire to for that, and I even feel a little like tickle maybe in my throat. It feels like I've eaten a lot of peanut butter.
Oh my God.
I don't know how to describe that sensation, but that's what's coming to me.
Mm.
Thank you.
Mm.
Barbie, actual Barbie, how is it to hear that?
I just actually ate some hazelnut butter just before. That's really, yeah. And I feel that I hear the thirst. I felt thirsty. And there's like I can feel and this sort of stuckness, and yeah, I really resonate with that, and a desire to scream or say something. Mm.
Representative for love.
Mm.
Not yet, yeah. Representative for love, can you share what you're noticing in your body?
Mm-hmm. I feel very contented. I feel relaxed and just sort of ready. I sort of feel like I don't know if you've ever been in a place where like there's lots of things that are going around you. So like people are building a house and they're trying to, or they're moving and they're trying to move all this stuff around. And it feels very much like I am happy to be here in this space. And I'm here if somebody needs me, like I'm here as I am called. And ready to jump in, but there seems like there's a lot of movement around me, and I feel very still and peaceful in the chaos.
Mhm.
I'm going to transition us to the whiteboard.
Mm.
And I'm going to start with the representative for love. Can you please give me a color and then a shape?
Green, please.
Okay.
Um, hmm. I'm trying to think of what shape I am. Could you do the outline of a sitting person, just so like a little head on top, and then like a larger mound, and then like a sort of like mound like that?
Is that kind of okay?
Mm. That'll be fine.
Okay. All right. Can you give me a location and how big you would like to be?
I would like to be on the bottom right. And a little bit larger, please. That's good. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative for Barbie, can you please give me a color and then a shape?
Blue. Sparkles. The like diamonds, maybe. Yeah.
Mm.
Exactly it.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And then can you give me a size and a location?
Up top a little further and right in the middle. A little to the right. Wonderful.
Okay. All right.
Mm.
And representative for Barbie, can you tell me what sensations you notice when you look at this other one who's on the field?
Me?
Yeah, you. Yeah.
I feel cool, like a little bit a gentle breeze through a window, kind of cool on the outside of my shoulders.
Mm.
And that's when you look at this one down in the right-hand corner. Okay, great. Okay, thank you.
Mm.
All right. Actual Barbie, what are you tracking and noticing?
Cool. Same, similar, like feeling of coolness. Also, kind of a feeling that this group, this green sitting love is really warm and welcoming, and I don't know if I noticed it before, and that the diamonds me that may be a bit fragmented actually feels like it's kind of moving towards it, like I can almost sort of see like an energy just moving towards the embrace of the loving sitting being.
Mm.
Or a desire to.
Mhm. I feel so I think in what's coming, I think what's here is that I know a little bit about some of the loss that I think is there.
Mm,
Um, but I know that I don't know all of it
mm,
or the depths of it or the pieces of it. And I wonder if if we just want to name it as loss, or if there's any more specifics you want to put on what the recent loss has been.
um, mm. I'm trying to not go into the whole story. Mhm.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Or is there a not wanting to go into the whole story because that's what feels healthy for you to not go into it? Or is there a not wanting to go into the story because of not wanting to take up that space? Or is
Um,
it, yeah.
mm. Um, Perhaps if it's, I'm still trying to be with that story. Is that story true? Did that really happen? Um, yeah, yeah. I it's not a denial that it happened. Um, it's this that it's an incredible grief, and I'm moved that that grief is comes from not just the thing that happened, but actually the systems that keep love away from people, or kind of make it feels so difficult to meet each other in what I would describe as a crossroads, rather than a crossfire, like a kind of in a place where we can be, um, and receive from love. So to define it, maybe I could just say a little. I say a little as I fell in love with somebody. We fell in love with each other, and some darkness came up, which was related to some trauma that he'd experienced, and um, in that feeling of that trauma, that um, he just disappeared. He just left. Um, yeah, he's just gone. And yeah, so maybe I don't know if I need another question to kind of. I think I'm really sorry. I think I'm really with the trauma that is not just his nor my or mine, that is in the in my family, that prevents, that blocks us from love.
Thank you. So then I will propose that we bring in a representative for the trauma, a
Mhm.
representative for the trauma that blocks us from being in flow, from receiving.
Mm,
And we'll pull this down and
mm.
kind of remove the spotlights. And will you invite someone?
Tony?
Yes, happy to.
So then, representative for the trauma, can I ask you to begin with giving me a color and then a shape?
I feel like color is like a burnt orange. I don't know if that's accessible in the palette.
I have a regular, or I have an orange or a brown.
Okay, orange is great.
Okay.
Thank you. And then if you could help me with this shape, I feel like it's fractured, like breaking, but not totally dismembered yet. I don't know how best to illustrate that here.
You can just draw some pieces. Does that feel okay?
Yeah, that's wonderful.
All right. And then can you tell me if that size feels right and where you'd like to be?
I think a little smaller.
Oops. I might have to do this again.
Or maybe, yeah, actually, that's great. I think just moving
Okay.
those outer pieces. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
And then and the other question was where I want to be.
Yeah.
I think kind of the top right corner.
Oh, goodness.
That's
Sorry.
what I want.
This is what trauma does, y'all. It takes over. It won't go away.
Mm,
Oh, goodness.
mm.
All right, so I'm just gonna move you up piece by piece. Tony, does that feel okay? All right, thank you. And can I ask you, rep for trauma, when you see the one who's in the bottom right corner, what sensations do you feel in your body?
I feel kind of repelled away, or yeah, just sort of that I need to move back. Yeah.
And when you see the one who is sort of to the left of you, the blue diamonds, what sensations do you feel when you look at that one?
I feel a little bit of like vibration or energy in my stomach, I think is what I'm picking up on.
Mhm. Okay. Actual Barbie.
Yeah.
A couple questions for you, but I think the first one is, what is your relationship to trauma in the context of love?
Mm. That it's always been something that I've given and desired and wanted, and then always been like shut down. or stopped, or I've been abused for not for being open. I feel like I've been abused for my openness to it, like shut down. Yeah. And that the trauma is always like noise, like chaos, like noise, just always telling me that it's present, and it's kind of screaming, wanting to be acknowledged, maybe.
I have a question that I want to ask, and we'll also say that the question may take us in deep, and I don't 100% know that I can bring us out in the time that we have. So just wanting to check if that's okay with you.
Okay.
Okay. The question I have is, where did you first learn to love?
I feel like it was before I got here. Before I got here, I was already steeped in love, and yeah, before I got here.
Okay. And so then, do you have a sense, in like the place that you came before you got here? Was trauma present there also?
No.
And at what point does it feel like trauma met love in your life?
When I came.
When you came?
From the moment of my birth.
Couple clarifying questions. Was it a traumatic birth? Do you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I was breech, and I'm a twin, and it was a cesarean.
And do you know what your mother's relationship was to the birth? Was it a birth that she wanted?
I've always thought that no. I thought that yes and no. I've actually had a sense that it was brought in with trauma.
Okay. So then I'm gonna propose that we bring in a representative for you at the moment of your birth, and a representative for your mother. Okay. So it looks like we've got Shar and Joan who are available. And Barbie, do you have a sense of whom you'd like to invite?
Yeah. Could Joan be the representative of my mother, and Shah me at the moment of my birth?
So I'm gonna start with representative for. I'm gonna start with representative for Barbie at birth. Can you please give me a color and a shape?
The shape is a line that has a little peak in it, like the way we show like sound frequencies, but I just see the line and one upside down V or one little mountain and then back to flat.
And can you give me a color?
Or maybe it's gray or black or
And then can you give me a size and location?
it feels like it's in relationship to the head of the representative for love in the corner. Maybe it's coming out of their mouth even.
Like this?
Yeah.
Okay. And rep for love. Is that okay? Do you all rep for Barbie at birth? Do you want there to be contact? And if so, gonna check with the rep for love if that's okay.
Doesn't feel like there needs to be contact.
Okay, so then we leave it there. Thank you. And then representative for the mother, can you please give me a color and then a shape? And will you unmute?
So the color red,
Uh-huh.
and it's like rectangular shape over to the side here.
Is that shape okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then will you give me a size and location?
A little higher. Good, and just a little bit longer. Good.
All right. Barbie, can you share a little bit about where your mother came from and just what you know about her relationship to love?
My mum came from Ghana. She, I think, has experienced a lot of loss. Actually, she just lost her partner as well in this time. But she's a very giving person, and she when she was small, she was moved away from her mother to her grandmother. When she came back, there were like 6 siblings. She got pregnant with my brother when she was very young. She doesn't share a lot about herself. She feels very locked inside, and it's funny, on my keyboard I can see sex. It's like glaring at me. The SEX is like glaring at me, and I don't know why, but it's glaring at me while I think about my mother. Yeah, when she arrived, my dad was a bit older than her, and it seems he was also very aggressive towards her. I don't think it was a good relationship.
And what is your relationship with her like now?
It's very hard to speak to her about love and loss. Like practical. and yeah, very practical and not very deep or kind of loving. But there's a lot of love there. I love her, but it's not very comforting.
Okay. So gonna do a couple things. First, gonna check if any of the representatives on the field, if they want to move or reorient, um, which you have kind of like permission to do. So just gonna check one by one. Representative for trauma, would you like to move anywhere?
Yeah, I'm feeling drawn to almost be over the red rectangle toward the top of it. Or if there's a way to put it on the red rectangle at all.
Like this?
Yes, that's great. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna check with representative for mother. Is it okay for there to be contact in this way?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Representative for love, would you like to move anywhere?
I think I would like him to move a little bit more towards the center.
So,
That's good. Back a little bit more. And down a little bit. That's good. Thank you.
mhm. Representative for Barbie at birth.
There's a pull to be between representative for mother and representative for love, and to be connecting them.
Okay. So checking in with love and with mother, is it okay for there to be physical contact?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. And then representative for Barbie. Would you like to move anywhere?
Yeah, can I come down a little bit? And there was a fourth diamond I didn't speak up for earlier.
Okay. Does this
A little,
placement look okay?
yeah.
Okay. Is that okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Gonna check in with actual Barbie. How is it to see this?
Fourth diamond is absolutely important. It was almost like it was missing. Now it feels whole, more whole. I feel more whole. This feels the child and the connection to from the mother to love feels really important. Feels my shoulders are kind of feeling quite stiff and I feel quite tense, but I feel also I feel like I feel energy, like energy in my hands, and I feel like I feel like my yeah, I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on in my body right now. A lot of quickening, a lot of like anger and stuff that hasn't been expressed, but it's coming up through me. But it's not mine.
So I have a couple questions. The first is something around, and I'll say the first part and you tell me if it resonates and then we'll build out the other
Mhm.
bits. But a commitment, like almost like to have incarnated for the purpose of bringing love through trauma.
Do you mean I have incarnated to bring the love through trauma, as in through trauma?
Yeah, almost
As
like you were, yeah, like your being is here to bring love in order to transmute trauma.
yeah. And also wondering why so much is coming at me. So somehow the whole one feels able to, the 4 diamonds seem to be really like buzzing with energy and excitement and possibility and love. And the little one feels quite stuck, like those sound waves are not moving as they should and could, and therefore bringing the sound waves and the love through into the family space, into the love space, into the community space.
Mhm. What are some of the things that you would like to say to your mother if you could, if she was able to receive them?
Life is a gift and it's calling you. Even at your age right now, it's calling you to come. Don't be frightened of it. Just before this, I got on this call. My sister told me that my mum wanted to go to Japan to see the cherry blossoms. And then when we said, oh, we could make this happen, she said, no, it's too far. I want to say, nothing's too far away. Everything is possible.
Mm.
And in a way, the loss now is there to make everything possible. Yeah, it's freeing for us, all of us.
Gonna check in with representative for the mother. Can you share the sensations that you're noticing in your body?
Mm. Yes, my throat feels blocked, and I have the left side of my body. When the conversations first started, like in my heart, there was this tension, and then I still feel in my left leg, from my feet coming up, like it's cold and, vibrating. And then I have a strong desire of wanting to move over. And it feels as though I want to move over to the triangle, to create a triangle at that V, where the bottom of the rectangle creates a triangle. But at the same time, I don't feel that strong desire for the fragmentation that's going on in the head, up by the head. I feel a desire to connect with the 4 triangles.
Thank you.
Or
I have-
diamonds.
Mhm. I have one more representative I'd like to bring in. So I'm gonna check if anybody else feels called to bring their camera on in case they're available to represent.
And if I may, there's this super sadness that, I feel like so sad, like
Mhm.
I want to cry and vibrate.
Mm.
Okay. So it doesn't look like there's a person available. So Barbie, what I'm gonna ask Giselle. Okay. Giselle, are you available to come in? I'd like to bring you in as a representative for the mother's freedom to have her own relationship to love.
Mhm, 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 mhm.
And just cross-checking if you're available for that. Okay. All right. So Giselle, will you please give me a color and then a shape? Oh, I can't hear you for some reason.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Strange.
It's starting to, do you want to try again?
Oh, you can hear me now?
Uh-huh. I think what I might do, there's something going on here. So I think I might actually not bring you in this way. I'm going to bring the representative in a different way. Okay, I'm going to release you. So thank you. Barbie, do you have an object?
Oh, you mean an object near me?
That we can bring into this constellation? Yeah.
Yeah, I have a pink tulip.
Great. Going to invite that pink tulip in as a representative for the freedom for your mother's own relationship to love. I'm going to invite you to just place that somewhere, and we'll know that it's in the space. Yeah. Great. Thank you. And then going to check with the reps once that one is brought in, if anybody wants to move or shift. And I think I'll start with the mother. Would you like to move anywhere once that one has come in?
Just to move over to create that that triangle. No, towards Barbie.
Like
Yeah,
here?
right there. Yeah.
And checking with little Barbie, is this okay with you?
Yes.
Okay, and checking with big Barbie, is this okay with you, representative for Barbie?
I was going to move in a second if you're about to ask me anyway.
All right, so I'm going to move you a little bit. Okay, representative for Barbie, where would you like to move?
In that little window of space between the green and the red.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay. Representative for love, would you like to move anywhere?
I do not, thank you.
Mhm.
Mm.
Little Barbie, do you want to move anywhere?
The image I've had for the last few minutes is of wrapping the arms around the rep mom's neck. And when we moved rep mom in this way, it felt like, oh, it's not what I was imagining, but that kind of contact has been made, and the arms want to come around. Feels like when a little one is like scared of a dog or something and they cling on to the neck. Hold me. And it feels like even the legs are maybe wrapping around.
I'm just trying intuitively. So anybody let
You're-
me know if that.
Mm,
All right.
mm.
All right. And then representative for trauma. Is there any place you want to move or anything that shifts for you?
I was feeling in my hands a sensation of wanting to hold something before. So I had brought my hands together, and then when the tulip came in, that felt like something that would have satisfied that sensation. So I'm almost feeling like going closer down, kind of like a grounding, if it almost just moved straight down, if that feels good to the others.
So here.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. And then checking in with actual Barbie. How is this for you?
It's seems a bit more possible. Like trauma is like going to ground, and if it goes into the ground, it can be transformed into something other than what it is. It can be given back to the earth and transformed, and that love feels so much closer and so much more like it's really holding the situation. And this little child is feeling a little bit more comfortable in themselves, in their life and love, and the oddest thing is the line in between the 4 diamonds for me. But the diamonds seem very poppy and very kind of excited and possible. Mum seems quite rigid, but also open. Like the rectangle feels a bit more open, like you can see through it, like it's opening up.
Thank you.
And then I have the tulip.
Mhm. Yeah. So getting ready to close this piece of work, I want to check lastly with representative for Barbie and representative for love. When the two of you look at each other, how do you feel? What are the sensations that come when you look at each other?
So at the beginning, when I started further down in the corner and the star Barbie's diamonds were up closer, it felt very much like I was on the grass looking at the stars, like appreciative, but Barbie was very far away, like very, very far away, galaxies away. And now this feels like it is so much closer. It feels like we are in the same kitchen, and that there is, it feels like there is a proximity there. I feel warm, my legs feel warm, my chest feels warm and open.
And representative for Barbie, when you look at love, how do you feel?
I noticed like a tingling in the top, in the crown of my head. And that sometimes it sort of melts like warm to my ears and kind of comes back and forth in there a bit. I noticed it quite a few times while Barbie was talking, this tingly crown of my head coming back and forth. I also, the rest of me feels much more still or grounded now.
Okay. So then, actual Barbie, does this feel okay? A place to pause.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to pull this down. We'll invite everybody to say these words. What we have witnessed
What we have witnessed
What we have witnessed
is both held and released.
is both
is
held
both
and
held and released.
And then, Barbie, I'll have you say to your reps, I keep what is mine, I give you what is yours.
I keep what is mine. I give you what is yours.
And for the reps who are in, we receive it.
We receive it.
You receive it.
And then we'll invite everybody to do a brush off, to a wiggle. For the representatives, you can rename yourselves. And then actual Barbie, do you have a little bit of, because I do have time, but wanting to check if you have time or if you need to hop off.
I don't need to hop off, not straight away.
All right, great. So then going to make a bit of space for folks to share anything with Barbie of what you have received, and folks can share in the chat thread or come off mute and say it out loud.
Thank you for bringing me in to this constellation. As the representative, it felt really good to be present with you, even when there was distance. So I deeply appreciate that, and that feeling of presence, of just there, even through space and time. Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me in. I'm reminded how much wisdom there is in my body and how much great information can come through these sensations. So thank you for taking that with me for that gift.
I also wanted to say thank you, Barbie. And when you ended talking about the grounding, I realized, of course, I was orange because I am an orange. And I felt this sort of, I had massaged over your mother's body. And then when you gave the description of the earth healing, I was buried and left to sort of metabolize and reprocess. So I wanted to share that with you because it really resonated with me too. So thank you.
Right before getting on this call with you all, I finished facilitating for a group where we were looking at cycles of violence and how they show up in the individual and in the collective. And so, Barbie, when you named the difficulty in your relationship with your mother, but then put your mother in context of the cycles at play in her life, also, it felt like such a grounded and caring way to put the difficulty of love between you two in context of other cycles and stories. I feel like I came out of that facilitation and then watched it happen in real time in a relationship here. And that just felt really exciting, not in a like, yay, jump on a trampoline way, but in a like, yeah, we're doing that work to recognize ways that we experience hurt in contexts of bigger hurt and to hold compassion there and hold care there. And then what that did in the constellation Thank you for that.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much.
Yeah, also thank you for inviting me in. And what I experience in this as the mother figure in the space, like at first, I felt nurturing, as though I was nursing this baby. And then, but then there was just broken heart that was there. And then the rectangular, after a while, became a doorway for that love to enter. And
Yes.
yes, and then there was a strong sense of disconnect at first, and the strong desire to get closer to the Barbie, to the love, and to pull away from the brokenness. And then there's still a lot of fear because that trauma is so deep, but there's hope.
Mm. Mm. Thank you so much. Mm.
Mhm.
Love you have a love heart in the background as well.
Okay, I'm gonna invite us to close out here. We'll invite folks to take 3 breaths together, and also an invitation that you can let your body move as you're breathing. The breaths don't have to be still. So inhaling, release, again. And one more. Thank you, everyone, for your offerings and work in the space. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Was I to stay? No.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Bye bye.